Thanks for watching. I'm Pat LaChapelle. Today is May 31st, 2026, and I'm working more on my stock market tool today. So, last week we made some nice advancements. I started paper trading, which is a major milestone in this project. I started working on this at the end of last year. So now we're into the end of May, and I've started paper trading, which is really good. But documenting the paper trading is taking a really long time, and it took up all of my streams last week, and so that's not really something I could spend my time doing. Basically, the problem is if this paper trading strategy doesn't work, then after a month of paper trading, I'll be back to square one, and I spent all my time just updating the results for paper trading. And so then I would be back to square one, trying to find a strategy. If it doesn't work, just having lost a month of time. So in order to do this, I'm working on automating the paper trading infrastructure. So I've already built everything at top here in this flowchart. And now I'm working on finishing up the bottom part. So this data update will be easy. I already have scripts that do this. It could be made a little bit more efficient, but as of right now, this is fine. I can run this on my own, no problem. I need to finish making this portfolio strategy class, though. It's pretty close to done. I have it to the point where I can save it, run it again, and I get the same outputs. Read it like here. If you look at this code, I'm reading in the strategy and running the back test. So it's working the same for the back test, but I need to implement some logic to get the predictions for the day. So before I get into that, I'll go over a brief overview of the project. So this is my outline right here. I have two goals. My first goal is to beat the S&P 500 by a significant margin. So the S&P goes up on average 6% per year. I want to do significantly better than that and get 18 to 24% per year. So 3 to 4 times the performance of the S&P. But I want this to be market neutral. So it shouldn't worry if we're in a bear market or bull market. The strategy should reliably give me those 18 to 24% annual returns, regardless of the market average. So, how I'm doing this is there's 3 steps. The first, I'm starting out with data going back to 2011. You don't want to use all data in your to train your model. One, because different things move differently, so financial instruments are going to move different from companies. And then another thing is that you want the model to work on high volume stocks only so that it's scalable. Either if you make a lot more money or if I can get this strategy funded, it needs to be scalable. If it's not scalable, nobody will fund it. Now I'm writing all of this code in Python, so I have a secondary goal for this project, which is to generalize the code, put it on GitHub, and make a tool that anyone can use to create machine learning models for themselves. And so if you're interested in that, check out the GitHub link in the description. You can do all of this that's outlined here at the bottom in under 100 lines of code. So once I have the universe, I'm getting the returns model. That's basically, I'm defining some technical indicators as features with different look back days. And then I'm defining a target, either something to do with the returns. So returns relative to market, relative to sector, probability of a positive return, Sharpe ratio, returns over the next 5 days, something like that. I have a couple of strategy, one on Sharpe ratio, one on returns. But I'm testing, what I'm paper trading on is the return strategies, the returns models. And so once you have a good model, you want to build a portfolio strategy, basically take the output of the model and decide how to allocate capital. And so then back test the portfolio strategy, see how it performs over time. And if it performs well in the back test, then we start paper trading on the portfolio strategy for a month. That's the stage I'm at right now that I'm trying to automate. And then once I paper trade for a month, if that works well, the final step is to go live with it. And then, of course, I want to have things that track the model health, etc. Once I go live. So I'm not sure. Did I already say the code's on GitHub? There's a link in the description, so check that out. I think I said this. You can do it in under 100 lines of code. Um, so yeah, this is basically the outline for the model. Uh, these are the three different strategies I've implemented. Where's that PowerPoint? Here. So, oh, actually, this is the first strategy here. So I'm taking, getting the model output, taking the best four predictions and the worst four predictions, going long on the best, short on the worst. Um, and for position sizing, I'm calculating the beta of each side, longs and shorts, which is basically how much it's leveraged to the market. And then just adjusting the total money I'm allocating to the longs and shorts so that it's beta neutral. And then using hierarchical risk parity to decide the position sizing. So that's this strategy here. The two other strategies I'm going with, I'm just implementing a volatility scaler, so I'm getting the Yang Chang volatility over the last 3 days, and then setting a target for that volatility. And basically, the way this is working is that it says if the volatility, the realized volatility of the portfolio is higher than the target, then start scaling down the exposure according to a sigmoid curve. So if it's a little bit above the target volatility, scale it down slightly. If it's substantially above the target volatility, scale it down significantly. So um, that's that. Now, what else? 3 day look back volatility threshold. Yeah, so I'm doing that. With that volatility scaling, I have this 10% volatility target, which is a conservative portfolio, and a 25% target, which is a balanced portfolio. And then I have this strategy here, which is an aggressive portfolio. It doesn't have volatility scaling, so it suffers a much larger maximum drawdown. So that's basically the project, the status of it. Today's Sunday night, so I need to update with the paper trading picks tomorrow. So my hope is that I can do this with this strategy class. Italy, new crash and burn. You're right on both counts. The 45-day window is the feature mask, and if your features reach back about 100 days, competing them over too short a span without enough trailing raw history gives you NAND garbage features for the live date. So that's going to be a problem for here. So I'll inline everything into one self-contained method on the HRP backtest. Give the feature engine a full 252 trailing day window. Hmm. All right, let's wait for this to output and we'll see how the code works. Hmm. Need some music. Hmm. Okay, come on, guy. This is taking too long. Hey, CSGO player. How does this work? Do you like Opus 3.7 or point 0.8 better? To be honest, I don't even remember 3.7. I thought it seemed like we just jumped from 3.6, or at least mine seemed like it jumped from 3.6 to 3.8. But Opus 3.8 is really good. It's very effective so far. So here's the outline for the project. Here are my goals. First goal, beat the S&P 500 by a significant margin and stay market neutral. Second goal, create a code structure basically anyone can use to build these sorts of models for themselves. So here's the outline. This backtesting strategy, this backtesting infrastructure has already all been built. Now I'm working on this live trading infrastructure so that I can automate the tracking of the paper trading. Do do. Bum 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 ba-dum. Ba-dum da 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 da. How do I like refresh this or whatever? Universe path should always refer to the configuration. Is that saved in the config? Okay, so let's change this. Positions per day. Target date. I should only specify capital. Capital and the universe path, raw data path, and scalar. So universe path and raw data path should already be known by this strategy and shouldn't need to be passed in. The strategy knows the path to the model folder, and the strategy knows the path to the model folder. And what else? Which contains the path to the universe. All the path for raw data is specified in the config. And what else? Finally, the scalar should be determined for the day in the same way that the scalar should be determined for the day in the same way that the scalar is calculated for the backtest. If it would be cleaner there should be a separate method for calculating the scalar, which is called by both the positions for day and run methods. Give me these methods and tell me how to change run so that it uses the new scalar calculation method. Man, this is taking a long time to think. Okay, so I'm waiting for this to finish. Hopefully it should give me some good methods, which I can plug in. And then, so I'm gonna have something which can automatically generate predictions for the day. But then I need to save those predictions. So let's start building a new file in scripts while that runs. And we're gonna call it paper trader. Okay, so we're gonna make a class called paper trader. Okay, so we're gonna say from Alright, folder should be a string. Then we'll say self.folder is equal to folder. Self.create trader. Okay, so create or open, we can not do anything with that for now. So we're going to create or open. Okay, so what do we need? We need to save. Oh man, that's gonna be a pain in the ass. Okay, so that should be the last one I need to download. Oh man, what do I listen to? Hey, Vignashram. Vignashram. Am I saying that right? How are you? Alright, so now let's go to portfolio 2. Let's delete those other back tests. Okay, and now I should make sure the back tests still work the same. Hey, mister in the mirror, where's my friend? Someday I wanna wear starry crown. Someday, 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 I wanna lay down like I did Sunday. Sunday, someday, I remember this song. Someday, that way. Mm-mm. Someday, East Coast, and I'll do what I want someday. I've been trying to make you. Alright, so now this strategy should save a file output that shows the positions for each day. So let's see if we get that. If we get that, then that will be really easy for tracking the strategies. Then, yeah, we just need to build basically data infrastructure. That's a lot easier than this logical infrastructure. On a pack of fentanyl, you might think they wrote you off. You gon' left who wrote me off. And day the drama gon' come, nothing is falling off. Alright. Create or open. Don't care. Update. We will say between space and time. Okay, then let's import date time. Gets you further from me. I let it all go. Okay, so this is the old strategy. Volatility versus returns. I was really interested in that, but that's really more interesting when you're looking at how this strategy performs. So nothing too. Whoa, did I turn off the other one? Test gen strat. Oh, that's what I have on. So try that guy. Then we don't have to create the whole strategy. Now we could turn this off because it's already run. Now let's run this. Run the new one. Weight schemes is not defined. Oh, that's because the last one is saved. So let's just turn both of those on. And then we'll see if the position, if the results are the same, and then if the saving works. Cannot import. Oh. Ain't no stress on me, Lord. Where is that? Oh, I'm trying to import it, so. Y'all done. That's gonna stress me out. I'm like, let's be out. I was off the chain. I was often drained. I was off the meds. I was called insane. Ain't no stress on me, Lord. I'm moving forward. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. I am your 100th sub. What do you mean, my 100th sub? Did you just subscribe? Because we're at like 702 subscribers. So what do you mean you're my 100th sub? Did you subscribe like... No, that doesn't make any sense. You would have had to subscribe in like 2023. When was I... Let me look. When was I at 100 subscribers? Yeah, you can't be my 100th sub, right? Unless you subscribed in 2023. Oh, hallelujah. Pick your poison, tell me what you're doing. Everybody gonna respect the shooter, but the one in front of the gun lives forever. The one in front of the gun lives forever. That's just how I feel. Nah. Alright, this is taking forever. Why is this taking... No, bro, probably 500th then. Wait, what do you mean? Did you just subscribe? Then you're like around the 700th. If you subscribed like a few months ago, then you'd be around the 500th. Everybody gonna respect the shooter, but the one in front of the gun lives forever. Okay, so here's the results. No, I'm not running the old one, am I? Good. And then we're saving the strategy. And then reading it in. So let's go look at the saved strategy. Are we saving positions? Because if we are, then we're good. That's all we need. Portfolio. Strategies. Okay, let's go look at that. No way. No way. No way. Imagine rock up in projects. How big is this? $300 megabytes. Price. Okay, so we'll say data is equal to Um, so why do the predictions? Oh, the predictions only go up till now because the portfolio only goes up till now. Till May 1st. Okay, data is equal to pd.readFeather. And we gotta go out of here to strategies, out of here to data, then all ohlcv.feather. Data where data.date is equal to data.date.max. Let's say data equals this. Oh. So it's because the portfolio only goes back to that, is my suspicion, but that might be a remnant from the universe. Okay, so we did it could be that the portfolio is ending on May 1st. I'm worried because that's when the universe ends. Model 28 walk forward. Portfolios. Why is there no model 28? So here, when I'm creating the portfolio, says we have it. Model 28 walk forward. Can you check the stream? Screen has not been changing for some while. Just you moving. Oh, yeah, sorry. That's something that's happened. Yeah, just a sec. Let me fix that. That keeps happening. That's so annoying. Thanks for letting me know.